Hey everybody! I have decided to make a demonstration video of the Google Classrooms that I've made for my kids this year. Originally, I had decided to make this classroom in an effort to streamline all of their subjects and all of their instructions, checklists, to-do lists, and associated links into one place. This one place makes it possible for me to view what they're doing, see their progress, and also give feedback to them on the work that is associated with the links. Now, I also will still have to check their notebooks and their work that is not on the computer to give feedback and correct things there. But this really does streamline everything and makes it possible to access all in one place and from wherever. It's also portable, so he can take it wherever he needs to go as well. So let's see. This is my oldest son who's going into 8th grade this year. This is his first homepage. The background is caters to his interests, as it has the earphones and the notebooks, and it very much represents his personality. You can put a personal picture of your family if you wish, or really any background you wish on there though. So if you click on the classwork page, it lists all of his subjects. This makes it easy for me to access anything I need very quickly. But Matthew will most likely from this page just click on his classroom link, which will take him to his Google Slides classroom pages. This is his first class. He has a language arts checklist, writing and rhetoric checklist, and Bible checklist on here. So when he clicks on the checklist, he is able to see what he needs to do for the day for that one. So we have his read alouds, his questions for the read alouds, his readers, and his follow-up questions for the readers here. It also has the links associated with it. If he clicks on the Prezi link for his read aloud, it takes it to a video of me reading for him. Reading chapter 1 to him. Once he's done with that, he can go on over here to the chapter 1 questions. I've utilized a software called Quizlet for this, and Quizlet allows him to answer the questions and study and learn in numerous ways. So it really caters to his interest and learning style. And if he's having fun with it, he can even do it numerous times, aiding in the rehearsal of the content. And the same thing with his reader. He'll click on the digital notebook, and then you'll see there's an instruction page so that he is able to read and understand how he should proceed. And then it will take him to the chapter and introduction page. So the King's Fifth, first introduction and chapter tells him the setting. Sometimes the books will also have an overview if necessary. Every chapter has vocabulary associated with it, so he is to read the vocabulary first. Then he reads the chapter, and then he comes on over here to the questions to answer them. All he has to do is click in here, type his answers in, and then it's done. And I can access this from any device that I wish, and I can ask additional questions, I can make corrections there, I can include immediate feedback, and he can see that feedback on whatever device he's on as well. Now when Matthew is done with each one, he just simply clicks this checkbox here, and it crosses everything out, showing that he has completed that for the day. So let's go on back to the classroom. I should also say that each of these books in the bookshelf here is the books that he's currently on. So if he just wants to simply click on A Murder for Her Majesty, that will also take him to the Prezi video of me reading to him. If he wants to simply click on the King's Fifth, it will also take him to the digital notebook. So he can access it in both ways. His writing and rhetoric checklist is very similar. And then his Bible checklist over here. He has all the books that he needs in a small box, and so he can easily transport that and take with him. He's got everything at his side, everything that he needs. Now his Argument Builder book also has a notebook that in which he's supposed to write down certain quotes. So again, here, whenever he comes to one of these quotations, he has another interactive notebook in which he can do that in. I've used the same template for this one as I did the other one. It just makes things a lot easier to use the same thing. Next classroom is Social Studies. It shows the Story of the World book that he's reading for this semester, and his Muse magazine, in which he will use for many of his current event reports. The classroom instructions page takes him to a class notes document in which gives him the links he needs for certain instructions. So when he does his mapping that's associated with what he's reading, he'll click over here on Map Maker and create an interactive map as well. He has to create an interactive digital timeline as he goes through history. His history reading instructions, his current event instructions. He may also choose certain links, and his Quizlet instructions. And then, of course, he's got his to-do list. Again, with everything that he needs to know what to do for each day. He checks it off when he's done. Boom, done with Social Studies. And now here's our science classroom. We've got science, mathematics, and health. His science class, I created a whole nother Google Classroom for that because I was going to be teaching at a co-op that unfortunately has been shut down due to COVID this year. But if he clicks on that, it takes him to our middle school science, human anatomy and physiology Google Classroom. And then in here is where he can receive the schedule, which is the to-do list, and all of the resources for each lesson, flashcards, scavenger hunts, and so forth. His teaching textbooks is his online math program, and it takes him right to the sign-in page when he clicks on that. And then here is his health things. I've utilized another thing, another software called Kahoot, which is very similar to Quizlet, but a little more game-based. And for Kahoot, he also has some journal reflections after he does that. Unfortunately, I didn't make the link for Kahoot. I need to do that. But I use that for a lot of the health things. And then there's also other links there to various videos and articles and certain things that he will need to complete his health for the year. So our last classroom is his Greek classroom. We use Classical Academic Press for his Greek. And so he clicks here and it takes him to his Greek checklist. So he knows what to do each day. And then down here is the games. And this will take him to the games section of Classical Academic Press. So he can just further enhance his skills through playing games and fun resources like that. Now, another thing I want to show you is each of my children's classrooms are very similar, and this makes it a lot easier for me when I'm creating a class for 4 children to have the same backgrounds and certain other things. So I created one whole classroom, and then I made a copy of it in order to use that for every child, and I just tweaked certain things. So as you see here, for my son Chase, who is going into 6th grade, his is a little bit different. He doesn't have writing and rhetoric, he has writing and spelling. Same thing with the checklist, same thing with the links. His Bible link is a little bit different, Bible checklist, because there's a lot more to this one. There's his reading passage for the day takes him to a place called Bible Gateway, so he can read right there on the computer. His Sing the Word to help him memorize Psalm 91 will take him to YouTube and have the song associated with that. And then I also created Google Slides for him to be able to practice his memorization week to week. The first week he's supposed to memorize verses 1 through 2. Second week he'll memorize verses 1 through 4, and so forth. And so the corresponding links on the to-do list will take him to each slide that he needs to be at for the week. And then if you see over here on the bookshelf, these are the read alouds and readers that Chase is using. Also, it has links with it For Chase's, I did the read alouds a little bit different. I created a Google Slides slideshow for his read alouds. And this is because I wanted to have a map here as well for him to be able to refer back to as needed throughout the story to find different parts of different places on the map. And so if you look over here on slide 3, this is where he can find the introduction and chapter 1 reading. Now this is really only when I can't read to them in person. I would prefer to read to them in person, but life happens and there are some days where you just can't get to it. And so this is a nice little backup there. But over here on this page, you see a symbol of China. And so if he clicks on that symbol, it takes him right back to the map when it's needed, and he knows what he needs to find on the map. And so you'll, not in present mode. This is Chase's social studies. Same thing with classroom instructions, only these are specific to his class and what he needs to know. Checklist, his textbook, his economics book. Chase is in the same science class as Matthew. It's middle school science, so they're doing the same subject. So that will take him to the same classroom. Teaching textbooks, same link, and then his specific grade level health that I've created for him. And it's nice to be able to customize. As you see in the backgrounds, there's this nice little poster for him to read as well. And then I put in some fun little things like soda and popcorn treats that he doesn't always get. And for Chase, he's doing Latin for his foreign language, and so the same thing as Matthew's, only this is Rome, not Greece, and he's got his checklist up here, and he's got the games down here. So you've seen my first two sons' classrooms. Here's Tyler's classroom. This is Tyler's homepage. It's got a bike on it because he loves riding his bike. And then Tyler's classroom with the same backgrounds, only certain things tweaked to include his textbooks and his readers and read alouds and so forth. I do have one in the makings for Ashlyn, but hers isn't even close to being finished, so I'm not going to show that one right now. And there isn't that much that Ashlyn can do online, so there's not a lot that really needs to be streamlined into one place for her at her age. So if anybody has any questions or is interested in setting one of these up, I think that this is going to be incredibly helpful during our move, and really just throughout the year. As life happens, it's nice to be able to take your schooling on the go with you, have everything in one place. It makes it organized. It makes it easy to see what you have done and have not done and what you still need to do. So I'm happy to help anyone who would like to do this.